and adult learning techniques. Vishal sir has consistently driven organization sessions success and nurtured future leaders. His approach his strategic approach to project solutioning and performance optimization makes him a valuable asset, and we are privileged to learn from his insights today. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so we'll make it quick. I have about 19 years of experience to keep it simpler. Worked with a couple of companies, starting from IBM, HCL, Concentrix, Alorica. Um, I've worked with clients like British Telecom, AT&T, Pearson View, Nestle Power Waters, Nokia. I'm sure some of you are using this phone as well. OnePlus, which is one of my biggest clients. It used to be, not anymore. Uh, I'm sure you use Axis Bank credit cards, one of my major businesses. I used to do the hiring, the training, and even the customer satisfaction piece of it. What else? Yeah, primarily a banking business. A lot of work with Amazon Canada, Amazon US as well, not India. Axis was India. That was when Deepika Padukone was what do you call it? She was the brand ambassador. So that's a little bit about me. I primarily do interviews. I conduct interviews. I train people on interviewing skills, PD, that's personality development, and English. Okay. So the question today, or rather the discussion today that we've had with the team was that what is interviewing skills, right? So is there anyone in the room who thinks would be okay to um, give a short brief about themselves before we get into the module? Anybody? No? Okay. All right. So let me begin. So when you talk about a particular interview, uh, you have your resume that's handy. Now, most of you, or rather all of you, come from a technical background, yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Mm.
fantastic. So when you come from a technical background, let's say, for example, there was Manoj who had logged in, who's logged in as well. Manoj, are you okay if I can ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have a computer, okay, and I do not know how to operate it. How would you, or rather, what is it that you would troubleshoot me with to give me a solution?
Yeah, I will definitely train you, or I will provide some like internet resources kind of thing. Yeah, in your mobile if you are using.
Okay. So now my question, Manoj, was let's say I picked up a new laptop. Okay.
Okay,
This is a
sir.
fairly new laptop as well. Uh, and while it was working, I got it, I opened the box, and I started using it. But it suddenly stopped working after about 25 minutes of its use. So, what would be your troubleshooting steps, or what would be your basic questions?
Basic question would probably is the processor is okay, then I will go for the motherboard and processor. That is the two thing. Yeah, primary thing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Anybody else has anything to say?
Any updated version is needed. Uh,
Any
that's the thing
updated
we have
version
to
is
check.
required? Okay. Anything else?
We'll try to check
Now,
whether all the connections are proper or not.
I'm
We'll
sorry,
ask him
try
to
to check
check.
what?
We'll ask him to check whether the connections are okay or not. If any connection will get loose, first thing we'll check it. We'll ask him to check it out first.
Okay.
Whether
So
the
you'll try to
power.
check the connections, right? Now,
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
talk about your resume, what is your resume? Is that is that what you know how to do and when to do and how to do? Is your resume a definition of you as an individual? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes. Sorry,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
it is. Now, when you talk about your resume, it is basically a summary of your profile. Do we agree to that? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Fantastic. Now, my question to you is, what is an interview? Interview is primarily a person, a pain like a Vishal, looking at a resume and asking you questions, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Yes. Now, my question to you is, as you guys are all people from a troubleshooting background, or let's say you're all technical people, if I ask you to explain your resume, you're able to explain it, correct? But if I give you a problem that you faced, would you be able to describe me? So, okay. Can anyone
The
tell me what is
pro
your
problem face about what?
exactly? So let's say, okay. So Manoj, are you a technical person?
Yes, sir.
What do you do technically?
Like my background is civil engineering. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. So your background is civil engineering. Now let's suppose there was a particular building and you found some gaps, let's say in the plumbing system. Possible?
Yes, sir.
Would that come under your work? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now, when you are supposed to explain that to an interviewer and you corrected that, how would you go about that?
Like I have to tell why this. I mean, why this hole was formed. Yeah, according to me, and then I will suggest some remedies. Do some yeah. Do put it something like that. I will give some solutions like that. Yeah.
Okay. So if I ask you, or let's say are we all in Bangalore?
No, I think we are not all in Bangalore. Yeah.
That's okay. Doesn't matter. You could be in any city. Let's say there's a building A. Okay. So I'm using Manoj as an example. Manoj is a civil engineer. That's your background. The rest of you could be technical engineers, you could be software engineers, you could be hardware engineers, or whichever field that you're in. Okay. Now, my question to you is, as an interviewer, first my question is, tell me something about yourself, correct? Or talk about your resume, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Correct. That is my first question. But how do I build or what are the questions that I would ask you? Would that not be from the experience or the exposure that you have? I will stick to that, right? I will not stick to from a civil engineer. I will not tell him that, you know what, my hard drive is not working. Can you help me? Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Correct? Okay. I'll just use a basic sentence here in Hindi. If you are a civil engineer, I'm not going to ask you something about a computer. Correct? Now that I know your profile, I will ask you to tell me about a particular situation or a problem in a particular building A and how did you solve it? So, what do you go around? So now let's say, Manoj, I asked you, you were a part of the engineering team, and we have a building A where we have where the owner says that there's a plumbing issue. And
Okay,
you
sir.
said that this was a problem as well. You agreed to it. So how did you solve it? So can you tell me how would you go about solving it?
Yeah, the thing is, first of all, I will do the preliminary verification. Yeah, what
Correct.
happened, then for what is the cause behind it. Then I will go for the solution. Yeah, for the solution, like which plumber we need to call, or which third party or which organization you need to call. Yeah, like that.
Fantastic.
And
Fantastic.
and
So
what would be the best solution for that? For that thing,
fantastic.
there may be two, three, four, five solutions. what solution best fit for this problem. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now my question is, whatever, whenever you're giving your interview, whenever you are presenting or giving an interview to a team, the first question is, tell me something about yourself. And then you say, let's say, for example, if you all of you are interviewing me, my name is Vishal Ajmera. I come from a training background. I was working with IBM, and before that, I was with HCL. I used to manage teams of hiring and training, and I got certified on training from British Council, and that is the reason why I do a lot of training online and offline as well. Uh, Now, do you think you can? Is this much introduction enough as 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 a person who's got 17, 18 years of experience?
No, you have to explain your
No.
roles, that the roles and tax you are taken in the journey, in your corporate journey. Yeah.
Fantastic. So why is only Manoj talking to me? The others don't want to talk to me. Then you can just mute yourself completely. Yeah, just kidding. Okay. So simple question. When I introduce myself, I have to talk about what's there on my resume, the basics. Correct? Please remember to add the why, the what, the where, the when, and the how in your resume. Possible? Did you understand that or you did not understand?
Yes. Can you please repeat,
Niranjan went blank.
Vishal? Sorry.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I like questions. Thank you, Niranjan. Okay. So the why, the what, the where, the when, and the how. What are these? These are basically interrogative questions. This is a lineup of questions that the interviewer can ask you from your resume. I'll give you an example. My name is Vishal, 18 years of experience. I was with HCL, IBM. I was in Delhi. I was in Bank. I came to Bangalore and I'm working in Bangalore and I'm running my own firm. इसमें से मेरे why, what, where, when, how क्या क्या निकलेंगे? What are the why, what, where, how? What are the questions that you can ask me from this much of an introduction? Waiting for the first one. I'll give you an example. Why did you switch from HCL to IBM? Possible question?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Why did you move from Delhi to Bangalore? Possible question?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Are you married or unmarried? Possible question?
Yeah.
Let's say my office is 20 kilometers away from where I stay. Is that a possible question? Why do you stay so far from office? Is that a possible question?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
How do you plan to come to work? Because your office is so far away. I'm sorry, your house is so far away from office. Is that a possible question?
Yeah. Yes.
So, okay, somebody just raised his hand. Yogesh, you have a question? Okay, let's not go there. If you have a question, raise your hand and just speak, okay? Because it's in a flow. So, guys, please understand, along with your resume that you have, please be prepared with the why, the what, the when, the how, while you're talking. Is that possible?
Yes, sir.
The next part is that I was talking to Manoj. Now let's say your work. Now let's say you're working as an individual, okay, or you're working at an organization where you faced a problem with the plumbing, okay. Could be the computer, could be the laptop, could be whatever kind of work that you're doing. Please ensure that you talk about the situation. What was the situation, Manoj? There was a plumbing defect. Make sense?
Okay, sir.
Make sense? So you have to explain that there was a building that we had made and the owner came back to us with a situation where he said that there was a problem with the plumbing system and the water was not going or something like that. You're the engineer. I'm not an engineer, sir.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
can
yeah.
help me there. Right? So that's the situation. That's the problem.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Correct? Now, what is the task in hand? The task in hand for Manoj here in this situation is to find the right plumbers, to find the right company, or I don't know, contractors, or people who can get that work done in the minimum cost. Make sense?
Yeah, yes, sir. The team. Yeah.
Make, uh, correct? Or team. Chalta hai. Next is what was the action that you took to solve the problem that you had? You found the vendor. You found the vendor who was taking the minimum cost. Okay. And he did not um, rupture the building. He did not break the building down. And with his experience or with his exposure, he made sure that the building was fixed in the right manner with the minimal cost. Make sense? Action hua?
Okay, sir.
Make sense? And then what
Okay,
was
sir.
the result? The result of the entire exercise was that you save cost for the owner, you save cost for the construction company, you found a good vendor, and the customers really happy. Both the customers, the owner and the person who's living there. Correct?
Okay, sir.
Make sense or doesn't make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got it.
Right? So it's a request to everyone here that when you talk about your introduction, when you talk about your resume, first thing, please explain your resumes with why, when, how. So, for example, uh, I'll use an example of Manoj for now, right? So, my name is Manoj. I live in Manoj. Could you help me with city?
Bhubaneswar.
I live in Bhubaneswar. Oh, Orissa. Okay. I live in Bhubaneswar. I am a civil engineer. This is my background. And I would like to move to Bangalore because I see that Bangalore is the next hub for new buildings or new construction. And and I know that your company is doing a lot of construction or a lot of buildings in Bangalore. And that's the reason I'd like to be attached with you. So then the question would be, why would you like to shift to uh, Bhubaneswar to Bangalore? No, actually, I've heard a lot about Bangalore. I know the fact that the weather of Bangalore is really nice, and that is one of the reasons why I'd like to move. So now the questions could be maybe you've been in this company for 4 years, 5 years. Why this? Why is it that you're planning to quit? It's a personal choice.
I can
I
answer
want,
in that way. I saw a growth potential in Bangalore. I saw the growth potential
of
in
course,
Bangalore in
of
my
course,
career.
correct. So do you think this this technique of using the why, what, when, how can help build a conversation with the interviewer?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise hands of people who agree? People who don't agree can show a thumbs down. Please understand. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not sure. I don't see the name there. Okay, fair enough. So please understand when you introduce yourself, somebody's raising a hand. Ma'am, you have a question? Okay, okay. I think it's you agreeing to
No,
the
sir,
why.
is agree the point. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. So please understand when you introduce yourself, your introduction is usually short. What happens is, मैं अपने बारे में or when I'm talking about myself, I talk the basics and I go quiet. And there's pin drop silence in the room, right? To break that silence, you can always use the why, the why, what, when, and how. Yeah, that's one. Then you can talk about situations that we spoke about. If that is being asked by the interviewer, but remember, any solutioning, any solutioning has to be broken down in uh, situation, task, action, and result. Because if you do that, then the person knows that you know your business. What happens is, if you go blank, or usually क्या होता है कि जब हम लोग when we are talking to an interviewer, we are already sweating, right? Like I'm sweating right now. I'm not sweating. I think it's shining. So when you go blank during that interview, take a break and talk. Your rate of speech does not need to be high. Take your time to give that interview peacefully. Simple facts. If you show nervousness during that interview, your nervousness will not help you crack that interview. All right. So slow down with your rate of speech, use that technique, and then go ahead and talk. Please remember, when you're talking to an interviewer, if your rate of speech goes fast and you take a lot of pauses, so I'll give you an example. My name is Vishal, and um I, if I do that to an interviewer, would you like me to have a conversation with you right now? I don't think so. If you want to listen to me also, you'll
No.
say, "कौन है यार
No.
ये time pass कर रहा है?" Correct? Simple facts. When you do that, when you take that break, instead of taking that filler, talk in one flow or with a slow rate of speech with a higher volume. Make sense? नहीं समझ में आया? Were you able to understand, or you were not able to understand?
We got it. We got it.
No.
Your
I
rate of
mean,
speech is slow.
we have to talk
Your
like
rate of speech is slow, but your volume is high. That's your confidence.
we have to talk slowly like our XPM Bajpayee ji. Yeah.
No, no. Don't go that slow. Mr. Vajpayee was very slow. He couldn't walk properly also. I'm not even going political here, but I'm not going. See, okay, I'll give you an example. My name is Vishal Ajmera, and I was working with IBM. And while I was with IBM, and I used to manage a team of about 22 trainers. And what am I doing?
It seems
What
like
did
you
I
are
just do?
searching for the word.
Stuttering.
Okay, searching for the words. Mr. Sheikh, you
Yeah.
said something.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, that was you. I thought it was again Manoj talking. Okay, what
No,
else? What
sir.
else? What else did you think?
I was thinking like I was talking like it is stuttering, basically. Like you're not
Very
prepared
good.
at all.
Very good. Stuttering. Fantastic word used. What else? What else? Did you feel that I knew what I was talking about?
It feel like mugging up.
Felt like mugging up. Fantastic, Niranjan. Thank you so much. Simple facts, guys. When you're talking, let's say, for example, I'll give you another one. My name is Vishal. I was working with IBM earlier. Before IBM, I was associated with HCL. And I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you, I was managing a team of about 22 trainers with IBM. And with HCL, I had a team of close to about 40 people. There was a team of recruiters, there was a team of assessors and trainers. These were internal as well as external trainers. What did I just do?
So
Being calm.
what you have experienced, that
Politely
one you have
speaking.
to.
Politely talking. Niranjan, what were you saying? I was calm, is it? Was that Niranjan?
And you also
Myself.
covered how many team members you handled with, what department you deal with. You covered that.
Correct. So did I take my time to talk?
No, it went in a flow.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what you want to do when you give your interview. Don't be in a rush. Take your time, because the interviewer has already scheduled your interview, correct? So he's going to give you 10 to 15 to 20 to whatever number of minutes that he's going to give you, correct?
Correct.
Make sure that those 15 minutes that he's giving you, you talk in such a manner that he gets convinced with what you have done. What happens is, if you talk about your job in a very, very low tone, your interview is already ruined. Your interview has to be with the best of energy while you're talking, with the why, what, when, how. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Can now, okay, so now whose interview can I conduct? No, I'm sorry. Can I conduct one interview? Sorry, I'm crossing over the time. Just a
Yeah,
quick one. Okay, who's like who would like to get yourself interviewed?
I can, I
Anybody?
can, I can, I can.
Okay, okay, fantastic. Mr. Sheikh, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. Why don't you tell us about yourself?
Okay. Well, I'm Mohammed Gauf Sheikh. I am from Guntur, Andhra Pradesh. Now currently settled in Bangalore because of my work, wherein I'm dealing with 45 website development team and 20 digital marketing team I'm dealing with. I'm a business development manager working with our process, whatever the company. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just adding it up.
That's okay. That's okay.
Now, currently, I'm
Okay.
working as a business consultant and dealing with website designing projects for US and Canada clients. And wherein we completed almost like 450 projects so far in the since like 2018. And we deal with a lot of platforms such as like WordPress, Magento, e-commerce, and .NET websites as well.
I have a question,
Yes,
Mr. Sheikh. You have a lot of experience. Your resume is very strong. I'm pretty sure of that. If 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 this was a session where this was a one-on-one session, I would have asked you to show me the resume. I'll tell you that.
okay.
Question. Uh, is there a storytelling pattern in your interview?
Currently, no, because I'm
Okay.
not prepared.
Okay. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Make sure you talk about your. So, as you spoke just now, it did not seem that that your that your interview was something that you have prepared for, right? So your previous experience and what your job responsibilities were in that particular job were not really explained clearly.
right,
And then going to the previous profile was not even spoken about. You did not mention the years that you worked for these organizations as well.
right.
So when you're going for an interview, please ensure that you prepare yourself with your present job, the reason why you're planning to quit, so that the interviewer doesn't ask you that question and he doesn't check the attrition piece. You
Right.
understand that?
Got it.
Because what happens is when a lot of people leave the company, the first question that's running in the head of the operations person or the manager is, what if this guy leaves in 3 months?
Right.
Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you don't want to give that impression. So when you don't want to give that impression, if you have gaps in your resume, make sure that you are able to cover them up well in a
Okay.
very, very light manner, very nice rate of speech.
Okay.
All right. But it has to be very, very confidently given to the person who is listening to you.
Got it.
All right. Because if I have to ask you that question, that means you are trying to hide something from me. Are you able to connect the dots?
Oh, yes, yes. It's very simple. It's very straight. Yeah.
Make sense? So, and when you talk about your experience, make sure that you talk with the situation, the task, the action, uh, and the result.
Okay.
Possible?
Of course, it is possible.
Okay. Thank you. I had 45 minutes. I've crossed over. Anyone else would like to try? Nobody. Abhishek raised his hand. Okay. Yes, Abhishek, please tell me. So I can't hear you. You're talking on mute. I think you're still talking on mute. Unmute yourself first.
I think by mistake he raised his hands.
It's okay. It's okay. No problem. Yeah. Okay. Doesn't matter. Any other questions, people? Please feel free. I think we have 7 minutes. We'll close it in an hour then.
Hello, sir. I have one question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Recently, I attended one AA interview.
Okay.
So, it's asked directly the questions related to the technical side only. So, I couldn't be able to answer him directly. How I had to pick the words to related with the technical words and give the explanation to the AI. It stopped, and then he asked the next question. So that it's not easy to attend the AA interview. So how do you uh,
Okay.
can you tell me
So,
the suggestions to us? Yeah.
simple question, ma'am. This was an AI related questions. These were AI related
No, sir. I
questions.
applied for the job as data analyst. So it's
Mhm.
related with data analyst technical questions.
Okay.
You are going to talk about the stakeholders, means how do you deal with the stakeholders? They are not related with possibilities which we are comments into the counts and those all the things. I answered the question in the way is I know the tool about the Tableau and Power BI. So I will mention, I will give the visualization, which one is the best to take the stacks, and then which one is a lesser profit will get. Those all the things we can easily visualize, and easily I can handle the person. Like this, I told them. Yeah.
Ma'am, my question to you is, while you were being interviewed, did you take the same number of gaps while you were being interviewed? Were
Yeah.
you
Yes.
thinking while you were talking? And so, what was the cover up that I gave you for that?
Yeah, totally. Only related to the stakeholders and then business analyst. No.
Ma'am,
So,
wait, hold on. Just hold on.
mm,
Simple. Uh, okay. Ma'am, can you talk about yourself? What's your experience?
yeah, I'm Ishwari. I'm living in Canada now. So I have related to the experience in India. I have like I have 5 month experience related to the stack. Full stack developer, and then I had experience in academic analyst, like as related to the uh, student database I had to handle it, and then staff's faculty database I had to handle it. So those all the um, database related work I have done 3 or 4 years. That's it.
Ma'am, I have a question. You said,
Yes.
ma'am, your name is Aishwarya, right?
Yeah, Ishwari.
Ishwari. Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am, the only question right now, or the only, was there any feedback shared with you after the interview was over?
No, sir. No.
No. Okay. Doesn't matter. Ma'am, I'll tell you simple facts. What is the first impression during an interview? I'm not supposed to cover this for anyone here. I'll tell you
Okay.
that.
So
What is
how
your
to relate
first?
it? Okay. How to speak related to the topic? Yeah.
That is the first one. Second one, are you able to describe your resume to me or not?
Ah, okay.
Did you have the same number of gaps while you were describing your interview? I'm sorry, when you were describing your experience?
Yes.
Okay. First thing, ma'am, if okay, there are usually there are for technical people there are three interviews, correct? First is
Okay.
the HR, then is usually the engineer who's working in that field, and then there's a manager or somebody who you'll work under, correct? Usually three or four interviews, and maybe a written test or written technical test, correct? Written is
Okay.
easy because you guys are very well read when it comes to technology. The problem is when you're supposed to describe our own resume, which is my resume, I'm not able to describe it. So, did you practice your resume in front of a mirror before you went for that interview?
No, sir.
So, can I say that you were not prepared for the interview, but you went for the interview? Ma'am, I'm not the doctor here. You're the doctor
Yes.
here.
Okay. So
So,
have to prepare. Okay. No,
ma'am, I've
I
stopped
I
working for
tell
6, 7 months, and I'll tell you, okay, I'll show you my resume. Will I not
no,
go
sir.
blank?
Okay, okay, okay.
How long was your gap before you applied for this new job?
Um, 2 years, sir.
And you said you're not prepared.
Yes.
Ma'am, this is for everyone, okay? This is whether you're working, whether you're not working. Your resume is your history. If I'm not able to describe my history, then why would a stranger even look at or maybe continue a conversation?
Yes.
Does that make sense? Right?
Yes, sir.
What is your core or what is the strongest point of yours? Like English is is something that I love. Matlab, I can't even tell you how much a problem is English is for me in my head. But if I'm not able to describe, if I'm not able to summarize my resume to a person who's trying to talk to me, isn't that my mistake?
Yes.
Prepare yourself, listen to yourself, whatever you want to highlight. Let's say your you are getting, let's say you're trying to get into as a data analyst. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So did you highlight your points about the data analyst during your conversation?
Yes. Sometimes related sometimes. So
So,
whenever I
so I'll
mentioned
give
the
you an example.
technical
I
name,
don't know.
yeah, yeah, the technical name tools which we are using the data analyst tool. So that mentioned someplace I
Okay.
mentioned.
So did you highlight that in your speech while you were talking? So did you also say, so I have, while I was working with, let's say I was working with Alorica, I used to work as a data analyst and I used to really work, I used to work on tools like Power BI. I don't know the
Yes.
other tools.
Tableau.
Ma'am, you know it. I'm not a technical person. So
No,
did you
sir.
stress on that? Then did you talk about a few reporting structures,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Yes,
So,
sir.
so you can probably say that I used to make the report for the directors so that they could probably see on how attrition analysis is done. What are the reasons for the attrition? Let's say, for example, what were the financials which were lost for us, which were a profit for us? Something of that sort.
Okay.
So you need to describe your resume one. You need to describe your experience and your exposure of tools yourself to the interviewer, because otherwise it will become against the same thing. So what tools have you worked on? So now I'm interrogating.
Okay,
You
sir.
understand my questioning technique? Instead of you
Yes.
not telling me, it becomes an interrogation for you.
Yes, sir. It's like a Tableau and Power BI. So in database means a SQL, we have to formulate that data set. So
I don't need to know.
yeah, yeah, yes, yes, yes.
You need to put your resume in front of a mirror and put it in your head so that any question that comes, oh yes, I have worked on this particular tool. This was the report that we used to generate, and this was usually on pivots. Let's say, for example, I'm talking Power BI because I used to work on Power BI
Okay.
and I used to make these reports once upon a time. Make sense?
Yeah,
Helps?
yes, sir.
Thank you. I'm
Thank you,
sorry.
sir.
You're welcome, ma'am. Abhishek, you have a question or Mr. Sheikh, you have a question.
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so my question is since 2000, till 2015, I've been working with companies as a business development manager. Okay, and then I switched my career being as a business development manager, and I switched from business development manager to business consultant, wherein I started my own career as a freelancer, wherein I've been dealing with some clients, supporting them with some problems whichever they're coming up with in terms of the business growth or business promotions or lead generation process, especially into market research and business development aspects. So
Okay.
since like 2016 and till last 3 months I've been working as a freelancer. So out of 17 years of experience, out of which last 8 years I've been working as a freelancer only.
Okay.
Now since like 3 months I completely stopped working as a freelancer, and I want to go back to the company.
It's going to be tough.
Right.
It's going to be tough. I'll tell you why.
Mhm.
A company will still think of you running your own firm, whether they ask you that question or you talk about it already. They would still think that you will still go back to what you're doing.
No,
So what
I
you
didn't
need to,
apply for any job so far. I
okay,
just share my resume with a couple of my friends. Okay, so but no, I didn't apply for any of the jobs on job portals. But maybe in case if I apply, then they will come to know and they might ask this question: why you want to switch back now?
that will
Definitely,
come
they
as
will
a
ask.
question for sure.
Yes.
For sure, that question is going to be listed for you. So my question to you is, what is your lineup? What is the reason why
There
and
is a
why is it
strong
that you
reason
want to get
actually.
back to work?
I met with an accident during my bike ride, and I lost my left ear. I could not be able to hear with my left ear.
Okay, okay,
And on top of that, some vertigo issues triggered during the surgery. Post surgery, the vertigo issues started triggering, and the doctor clearly told me not to work in the night times, and especially when there is a calling process.
okay, okay.
Because calling is involved when I'm dealing with US and Canada clients. Most of the time, I will be on the phone. I'll be discussing with
Correct,
them about the projects. So he
correct.
clearly told me to completely quit the job, and that's the best thing for my health.
Okay. So now you're trying to move into a place which works during the day. That could be the first one.
Yes,
The second one could be because of the number of calls that you have to take, your
yes,
ear pains, or you've got medical issues.
yes,
And the third one is uh, you want to get back to the corporate and settle there. Is that correct when I say that?
right, right.
So my thought would be, instead of just talking about medical issues, you probably want to say that that there was a family business that you were running, okay, instead of talking about your business.
Okay,
Okay, I don't know how it would work, but my thought would be, instead of you saying your business, you can say your father's business or your brother's business or somebody else's business that you're supporting with because they had medical issues.
okay,
Okay, so therefore I supported them. I built it. It was already thrashed. It was going down the drain, and I supported it. I built it, and then I asked for a partnership or something of
mm,
that sort. You'll have to kind of make a story. And
okay,
because I asked for a partnership, he did not agree to it, and he wanted me to work as a salaried employee. And that was when I thought that I should get back to corporate where I can work as a salaried employed under some decent brand.
okay.
Does that does that connect the dots?
Yeah, of course, it
So
connects a lot,
because
but
if you
that's something that I'm lying. I'm hiding something, right?
see, the problem is here is, if you talk about your present situation,
Mhm.
any corporate would probably think that you want to move back into the industry because your business going is doing low.
Okay,
Okay, so that gives a wrong impression.
got it.
So, or else you can probably say that I was doing this business of my own and it was doing absolutely well. But during the Corona, it kind of got spoiled. And now I was really trying to build it for the last 2, 3 years. But because it's not been built, I thought I'll come back.
Yeah,
Something
I
of that
think
sort.
this sounds good actually. This sounds better for
I did not say this.
me.
Don't quote me anywhere, please.
Got it.
Sir, I like to interrupt.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Corporate or companies like experienced entrepreneur or not? I think they like. And what is your opinion?
See,
And in which cases they don't like the entrepreneurs, especially experienced entrepreneurs? Yeah.
so how I see it is there's a particular designation that an entrepreneur would be preferred at the corporate. All right. I'll tell you
Okay, sir.
why. Because of the cost saving. The kind of the cost saving that an entrepreneur, somebody who's run a business of his own, the kind of cost saving that particular person can give to operations is way higher than a person who's from the corporate because he doesn't know the people in the market. They're preferred. The problem is if your experience is more than 3 years, the companies usually think that you know what he or she is they already have a settled business, so maybe this is a second income.
Okay. This is the passive income they will think.
A lot
Yeah,
of people have
secondary.
that thought. Yeah. So maybe he might not give us those kind of production hours that we require. Maybe he might have other issues. Maybe there might be issues from his end.
Or he will see he or she will do moonlighting. Yeah,
Oh yes. Oh, that's another word as well.
moonlighting.
Yes, thank you. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Are we all good?
One last question from my side.
Yes, sir.
I totally taken your inputs and what is your suggestion that I should keep in my resume for the last 8 years of experience what I had?
Keep the experience of that company that you were running. Why not?
No, what should I keep it like designation or what? It matters, right? When people are seeing my
So
resume.
so the other thing is there a PF deduction? A lot of companies do a PF check. I'm not too sure if you know this or not.
No, I'm a freelancer, right? So no PF, nothing. Only ITR I used to submit.
So I'm not too sure the kind of profile that you're applying for, but
Okay.
so a lot of companies usually do during the background verification, they do check a lot of they do check a lot of the government papers and stuff. So PF is one of them. So you can mention that you were working in partnership or you were working with a friend or you were working for the company which you were trying
Okay.
to build, which is not owned by you, maybe.
Okay.
Could be a thought. So how do we handle a self-introduction when transitioning between industries or roles? A general question that can help all candidates. So that's a beautiful question. I'm not too sure who has asked that question, but it's a fantastically good question. Um, so when you talk about roles, let me give you a very simple example. I moved from operations. I was into operations while I was with HCL, and I moved into trading because my passion lies there. All right. Now, example which you gave now, maybe. Oh, okay. Um, I got it, man. Thank you. I got your point. Okay. So a lot of us have those gaps in our careers, and when we move from a particular designation or the kind of work that we're doing from operations, let's say to trading. Okay. Are you able to explain the passion of that particular new position or designation? If you're not able to talk about the passion, you might not get hired. I got hired on my first interview the minute I spoke about training. I'm not even kidding. I was with HCL. You can check my resume. I don't know, LinkedIn maybe. Um, I was with British Telecom. I used to manage close to about 900 people. Okay. From moving there to get into training, wherein operations has more money, by the way. I said, nahi chahiye. I don't want it. I'm passionate towards training. And then there was a certification, and I cleared that certification on the first go, wherein there were 17 other people who could not clear the certification. So are you able to show the passion to the interviewer when you're changing roles into the new role? If you're able to do that, you've got it. If you sound, no, I want to move into training because I think training is a good function to be with, and I want to be a person from the support. Okay, bye bye. It was nice talking to you. Don't waste my time talking. Make sense? Mr. Sheikh, like you said, why is it that you're leaving your brother's business and getting back? I used to love the energy in the corporate. I
Okay.
miss that energy. I was working with my brother, I was working with my father or somebody in the family, but I was really wanting to really do a lot of things, but my hands were restricted. And because my hands were restricted, and because I was a salaried employee there, I decided to move out and maybe just join a corporate where my hands are tied and I'd like to probably do something for the organization. You show that energy, no? If you
Okay.
don't show that zeal, then why should a corporate hire you?
Right.
Does that answer? There was a question that came from Aishwarya, right? When we spoke, ma'am.
Sir, that was from my end, sir.
Yeah. So no, there was Aishwarya. I was talking to some lady who was in applying for a data analyst job, I think.
Yes, sir. I didn't ask any questions.
No, no, no. When you were talking
No.
about yourself, about the
Yeah,
candidate
yes.
I've seen,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
do you think that if you
So
show that passion, that will help you?
I think so.
Don't tell me it won't. Don't you have
Sir,
to think
at
about that?
first I got afraid to meet the AI, then I went.
Then practice.
Okay,
Practice
sir.
before that
Okay.
interview. What
Yeah.
are the what, where, when, how questions that can come after looking at your resume? Prepare
Okay,
that
sir.
and then go for an interview. Record yourself, then go for an interview. Till the time there's no gap in your conversation.
Okay, sir. Yeah, I have
Makes
also
sense?
some related to the gap, my career gap also there. So,
It's all right. You always need to know how to cover it up. If you go, so okay, my job between HCL and IBM, there was a gap of 1 year. Okay. I
okay.
straight away said I wanted to take a holiday.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't on a holiday, I was studying, but
You are that blunt, sir. Yeah. Sir, is it okay to say like that?
no, I did say that I did take a holiday. I could not take such a long holiday, but then I ended up studying a little more about language because I have a passion for trading. I wanted to learn Excel. I was bad at it. And they terminated 3 employees of mine who used to manage my MIS. And I felt bad about it. And that's the reason why I wanted to learn so that I could teach somebody and get them a job when I join another organization. And they bought it. Don't tell this to
Okay,
anyone.
sure.
Nobody from
Sure.
IBM have
Yeah.
it. Anyways, I think we're good. We've crossed over 45 minutes. Way more
Sir,
than
one
45
last
minutes.
question. Sir, one last
I'm
question.
I'm not
Uh,
available.
we
Please ping me
we
on WhatsApp.
yeah we all have some regional accent, English accents. Yeah. So what's your take on that? And how could we minimize that? Or yeah, what's your opinion?
Tough question. See, if your field is to do with client dealing, if you're dealing with clients in the UK, if you're dealing with clients abroad. Ma'am is sitting in Canada. If you're talking to ma'am, um, language makes a lot of difference. Language does make a lot of difference when you step up. Your question would be, what is step up? When either you're switching a job because you're comfortable in that job and you're not getting paid enough is the reason why you switch, or you want to switch to another company because you want to learn something new. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right?
Yes, sir.
But you're stagnated at that company because you're doing the same thing for a longer period of time. And everyone accepts you the way you are in that old organization. But if you can work on your regional accent and at least have your introduction in a specific manner, will definitely help you. I'll tell you that. And if you're not dealing with if you're not dealing with if you're not talking to clients face to face or over the phone, then accent doesn't really make a difference. But if it's a
Okay, sir.
Canadian sampling, Canadian, Australian, American, then there's something that you need to correct. And English is not that difficult. It, it's not that
Sir,
difficult.
your accent, sir, your accent is good British accent. It's very good. Yeah.
Yes, I got wasted with them for 11 years. I was,
Okay, sir.
yeah. But you can learn English. English is not, accent is not something that you require. What you see, for example, okay, let's say मेरा नाम विशाल है. आप उड़ीसा में हैं, correct sir?
Okay, sir.
आप उड़ीसा में हैं, right, मनोज?
Yes, sir.
तो आपका एक ट्रेनी जिसको मैंने इंग्लिश पढ़ाया था, वो आज की डेट में वहां पे रेवेन्यू ऑफिसर है. ठीक है? वो मेरे को जिस दिन मिली थी, वो मेरे को विशाल विशाल करती थी. ठीक है? अब मैं इंडिया में हूँ, मुझे वो सब I could understand what she was saying because she was calling me and she still calls me Vishal, sure. I could understand that, right? But if I'm a native American, or if I'm a native Brit or an Australian, where the customer's name is, let's say, Sean Smith, which is a regular, do you think that do you think the customer would prefer being called a Sons? I don't know how that would go wrong, but do you think that the client would like to be mispronounced by the name? Originally, no.
Yes, sir.
Right. So it depends on the kind of work that you're doing. English is not an important thing. If you're able to describe what you do really well, you will get hired. But the question is, do I understand what you're saying? If I'm an Indian, yes. But if I am working for another country, it is tough. Because the call that can end, so IBM used to have specific duration for technical calls for laptops, ThinkPads, because they're sold mainly in Europe. So if there's a technical troubleshooter who's usually they're technically sound, but language is not known. So that call that could end in 40, 45 minutes would go on for 3 hours. Do you think that the client would like that?
No.
That's the problem. So it depends on the country, depends on which country or which global structure you're calling or you're talking. Are you saying Chinese have fantastic English? I'm sorry, they don't. Do you think Russians have fantastic English? Somebody who's an Arabic country, have you heard them? What are you talking? That is Russian. What did I just say?
Even the European native European Spanish people.
Correct. Correct. So it's not English. It's not English. It's about you holding a thought of the right pronunciation while you're in conversation. You'll make wonders. But don't change the name of people. So, for example, social security number, which is very, very important in the US. But if I say social security number, I'm wasting my AHT. My call handling time is exceeded because the client doesn't understand that. And a lot of people don't agree with it. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing the valuable insights with us. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
You're most welcome. Thank you very much. You have a good day ahead, guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Sir,
You're welcome, ma'am.
thank you, Vishal sir, for sharing your invaluable insights and expertise with us today. Your strategies on leadership development, innovative and training techniques, and skill buildings have been truly inspiring and actionable. On behalf of everyone here, we deeply appreciate your time and efforts in making this session impactful. Let's take these learnings forward and continue to grow together. Thank you all for attending, and we look forward to seeing you at our next event. Thank you very much, sir.
Absolutely welcome. Thank you. You have a good day, guys. Good evening.
Thank
Good
you, sir.
night. Shabba khair.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Bye.